All right, Neil. So here we are, two dudes and killer tunes, our special episode. Um, so today we actually are welcoming our first band to the show, Black Note Graffiti. So welcome.
Hello,
Thanks for
hello.
having us.
Yeah, thanks.
So we got Kris, Gabby, and Ricardo from Black Note Graffiti. How you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
Doing great, doing great.
Pleasantly
Cool.
luck. Yeah.
Just want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. I know we got a lot of cool stuff coming up on your guys' schedule, but before we jump into that, actually just wanted to learn more about you guys.
Sounds good.
A little bit of the background. Like, first of all, how did you guys first even get involved in music? I always find that a fascinating story.
Yeah, Kris, you should start with this one.
I guess when the thing that got me into music was one of my best friends growing up's brother was a drummer, and he was into John Bonham and Led Zeppelin when I was real little, and that kind of introduced me into the music world, which was, I mean, even back then, I mean, Led Zeppelin was around for years, but seeing that and listening to that music as a, probably when I was, I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe, if that. And I was like, man, this is really cool. This is what I love. I was like instantly into music at that point. So that's kind of where I started. And from there, just kept going.
So Kris, you are in the band, you singer or bass or guitar, drummer? Or...
Yeah. I play guitar.
Okay.
Ricardo sings and plays guitar, and Gabby sings and plays keyboard.
Okay.
Kurt, my brother, is the drummer who's not here. And then Adam is the bass player who's not here as well. So there's 2 guitars, bass, and vocals, keys,
Cool.
and drum.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we probably should have maybe established that from the
No,
start.
no,
That's okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
It's like an onion, it just got layers. We're just unpeeling it. Right?
Absolutely.
So how long have you guys all been together?
Shit. Well, Kris and his
that's
brothers
another
are-
question. So
Yeah, were there, I don't, were there other members of the band that are maybe, you had prior or, started off with, and then now you are a cohesive, solid unit, or what's going on there?
Well, that's a good question. So me and my brother played together since we were very young. He's the drummer, Kurt, and then we played with Adam, the bass player, too. We all grew up together, and then we met Ricardo later, and then recently, a couple years ago, we met Gabby. So it kind of over time built into this particular lineup.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask, because looking at your guys' music on YouTube, there obviously then are songs that where Gabby, you're not in, right? Like 5 years ago, I think I've seen some songs. So Shadows is one of them, correct? Like,
yeah, for the first 2 records, I was, taking lead on vocals,
Okay.
but then, we wanted to fulfill, fill out our sound a lot more. And, we happened upon Gabby, I think, as a godsend, just kind of rained down from heaven like ambrosia. And
Right.
totally completed the puzzle. And so, so our last record that we put out, it's just a double EP, Rise and Fall. That's where you really get to hear Gabby for the first time. And, we're going into the studio, speaking of which, in September. So we're looking forward to putting out more material with Gabby out there. Yeah. But that was like definitely the missing piece, I think, in the, first couple albums was, once we had Gabby, on the pipes, we just knew that like our sound was going to change.
Love it.
So Gabby, what were you doing prior to hooking up with these guys?
I think being in Black Note was like my second band I was in. I was in a band before, but it was like my first band when I was like a senior in high school. So it wasn't
Oh
anything
wow.
crazy serious. It was just like we're just having fun. So Black Note was definitely my second band and my most serious band I'd ever been in and the best band I've ever been in. So yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I was actually was listening to the Rise and Fall EPs, and what is that concept all about? You know, with the rise and the fall, and what's the meaning behind all that?
Yeah, so it's cool because they're two separate EPs, but they kind of share the same concept. All the songs on Rise is about like a rising or like a overcoming of like challenges, and then all the songs on Fall is like, you know, failing or those darker feelings. So they kind of like, you know,
Yin yang, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of good songs on that. You know, I think you guys really hit it on the head when you say getting Gabby in there kind of filled out your sound for sure.
So quickly, so Black Note Graffiti, because I was telling Cal earlier, I'm like, that is actually a really, really good name of a band. Who came up with it? And may I ask, was there a meaning behind that?
Yeah, that was definitely a curmudgeon of ideas. We were just throwing back and forth, but you know, we were drawn down at one time. You know, before this band, the first iteration was K4, although that was like a completely different project. But I think Kris was definitely the mastermind behind that. Came one day, you were talking about like, you know, how notes look down on a sheet of music, and you know, I remember you saying that, you know, it just looked like a splattering of black notes.
Wow. I honestly think that's pretty cool. I thought about that. I'm like, man, what a cool name to a band.
You know, and that's funny because to someone like me who can't read music, doesn't understand anything, it probably just looks like a bunch of Black Note graffiti on a page.
Well, you totally out of me. I'm totally self-taught. You know, I never took any lessons or anything. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's definitely me. I know like every good boy deserves fudge as like some sort of, it means something. I'm not sure what, but you know,
And wasn't
that's
the
as far
other
as I
one
got.
face when they're like in between the lines?
Right? Yeah.
That's
Right.
mindset.
Maybe we're further along than we think.
Yeah.
If you need someone on the accordion, right, with my Polish background, maybe. You know?
Right.
No, we were just
Actually,
talking about that. We were
Yeah.
just talking about that, yeah.
We could roll out a barrel or two, you know, have a barrel.
And I was also choir student of the month in 7th grade.
Oh shit. Yeah.
At Scranton Middle School in Brighton. So if you guys need a backup singer.
And it's all downhill since then, right now.
You'll be third string for sure.
Cool, thank you. I will take it.
Top of the resume.
Yeah.
So the one thing we always like to talk about on our show is, you know, like the live show experience, going to concerts and stuff. You know, thinking back, you know, Kris, you mentioned just hearing Led Zeppelin, kind of you were hooked. But do you guys remember like any shows, you know, in the past that you went to that were like that aha moment, like, oh my God, I want to be those people up there? And if so, like, what was it?
Yeah, for me, it was seeing at the drive-in live. They played with the Get Up Kids at in downtown Pontiac. I forget what it was. Clutch Cargo, I think it was.
Clutch Cargo.
Oh, yeah, Clutch Cargo.
Yeah, right, there's a shout out. And so to date myself there as well. But seeing them, I remember seeing them walking through the crowd. You just see their big afros at that time, and I was just like, "What's going on with these guys?" And then they went on to open up, and I was just blown away because they were just so electric live, and that was like, I'd never seen anything like that. You know, you've seen bands just like perform and, you know, do their thing and get off stage, but for them, it felt like a complete, just like they're reaching out to the audience, pulling them into the show. So that was the moment I knew that's what I want to do.
Nice.
Love that. Anybody else have a thought on that?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got into music, I didn't really go to many concerts until I got into like high school, but there has been a few along the way where I was I guess like put this staple down, like, yes, this is actually this is great, this is awesome, I want to do this. And this one wasn't too long ago, it was like last year actually. I went and saw a band called Loathe. They're a metal band You're super cool. And it was the first time that I moshed and almost had an asthma attack. I was like, I want to make other people do this.
Right.
So
Be on the other side of that. Yeah.
That's super cool.
So that kind of brings up, you know, definitely, I like your sound, you know, it's, you know, definitely a little heavier, you know, a little grittier, I'd say. What are maybe some of your influences that you've had?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it was like I said, at the drive-in, Nirvana, Fugazi, heavier bands like that. Yeah, a little bit of Prince in there as well, you know, just for flavor and style, you know, musicianship.
Yeah. A lot of my influences are, of course, like rock and metal, a lot of metal bands. I like a lot of electronic music, like Square Pusher or Autechre, and I like a lot of jazz and fusion too, like Kurt Rosenwinkel or Morgan Agron, those people.
Nice. And it's definitely such a wide range, right? And you know,
Yeah, it's
I'm
confusing.
assuming like you guys kind of picked and pulled different things from it to make that sound that you guys got.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kris is really into reggae.
Oh yeah. Yep. Whenever we go on the long road trips to wherever we're going, Kris will just be bopping along to his reggae, weaving through traffic, totally calm.
It's on the level.
Best driver ever.
Nice.
Best driver ever.
So bringing up that, so you guys, you know, hitting the road, you know, playing some shows and everything. The other thing we always talk about us as fans is, you know, our favorite venues to go to see shows. What are some of your favorite venues you've had to play at around the country?
Well, we're going back to it's a dive bar, but it's the first show that we did with Gabby in Toronto.
Oh yeah.
It's called the Bovine Sex Club.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
Bovine.
Well,
I love the name.
It
I
is.
was gonna say you guys are going back there, right?
Yeah.
For North by
Yeah.
Northeast.
About mid-June. We had that written down here for the North by Northeast, right?
Yep.
That's correct. First time playing. It should be a great time. Toronto's
Yeah.
a great city.
So
Yeah.
dig into that a little bit more, because that was kind of new to me and Neil. We kind of looked it up. How is that all set up, and what's the theory behind that?
And we do know that maybe that there was a South by Southwest is kind of connected. And go ahead, go on.
Yeah, they actually are. They are connected. South by was first, and we played South by actually a couple times.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
And which Austin is an awesome, great music city. But Toronto's also has just a killer rock scene. It's got a bunch of like rock clubs that are pretty close to each other.
Mhm.
And we played Indie Week and Canadian music
Yeah.
too. And so this is kind of cool because we're going back for, you know, one of their more known festivals, North by Northeast. And we're going back to Bonine. And what a great rock bar. I mean, these guys, to give you an idea, the last time we played there, we got our set time was going to be, it was like a Friday or Saturday, but it was like, we're going on like at 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the clubs there are open till like 4.
Oh,
Sure.
nice.
And we're like, oh man, that's a terrible time. It was jam-packed.
Yeah.
That's the butts.
So it was, so that's kind of, but yeah, we're going back there, which
So
is
you guys are going back there. So it's like a collection of bars and stuff, and then just bands playing and, you know, kind of bar hopping and going around checking them out. Is that how it works?
yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
And you get like a wristband. You pay, I think it's $25. You get a wristband, and you can go to all the clubs and check out the program and what bands are playing where and when. And you could go to bar to bar to bar all night long.
Nice.
So to I'm sorry to cut you off, but to let your fans know, do you guys have a set list already planned? I know it's still a couple more than weeks away, or what? Do you have anything planned as far as what songs you're gonna play?
Well, the song that we're gonna play,
or is that kind of on a whim? Go ahead. Sorry.
It's funny that you bring that up.
Yeah.
We're working on that on the set list right now. We've got a bunch of new tracks we're going to record
Right.
so we're trying to put some of that stuff in the set list. And there's there's songs that we play live that some of us want to play and some of us don't.
Oh, I bet that is probably a battle between.
Gotta throw that in there,
Yeah.
didn't you?
That's fire. Yeah.
Songs. I'm just saying.
That's so funny.
We're
So,
working.
It's funny you bring that up too, because going to all the concerts we have, and I mean, it's always been a way for bands to try the new music out, et cetera, et cetera. People always want to hear the ones they know. But do you find that there's less of that now with like the Spotify's and that of the world, where you can kind of drop the songs, earlier and get people engaged with them before you start kind of the tour? Or
I mean, for us, the way we get people hip to our new songs is we just play it live first, because it's an experiment for us and to see if how will this go live before we even record it. To be honest, that's how we've been doing most of our songs, actually.
okay.
And if people are into it and we're into it, okay, this is good. We don't need to do anything with this. Let's go record it now. So
Okay.
we've been testing the waters. It's risky, but it's music, so whatever.
But sometimes it can inform how the song's going to go. Like we were playing in Toronto, actually, and there's one song called Scars. And in the middle of this performance, the power cut out. And Gabby and I kept singing. And we, the power didn't come on to the rest of the song, but we just kept singing, because we're constant professionals. And so, but it changed the way we play that song live now. So like right where that cut off, now we all stop, and then her and I have like a little break where it's just a vocal break, and then we kick back in. And it really, like the live, we wouldn't have had that unless that exact thing happened, like that freakish thing. But it sucked at the time, but ultimately, songs will change from when you're writing it, in rehearsal space in your head, to playing it live, in front of people and seeing how they react. That's the best part of making music, is being able to tailor it to the live reaction.
So in your guys's band, so who is the writers? Are you guys all writing songs, or is there a main writer, or what's your thoughts on that? Or who's the main writer is what I'm asking.
Definitely Ricardo. At least
Ricardo.
for the last before this one that we're recording now, Rick wrote a majority of like the melodies or the lyrics or whatever, but he'll bring it to us either like completed or like in parts, and we'll kind of mess with it. We all put our like selves into the song some way, but for the most part, Rick definitely is like the biggest writer.
I love it.
Yeah, that part's always amazed me, and I'm sure it's different with every band, right? Someone might bring some lyrics and you just kind of start tooling with it and kind of adding your pieces and parts. And I'd love to be a fly on the wall for some of that stuff, see how you guys work through that process.
Maybe you would. Maybe you wouldn't.
I guess
I think that would be highly entertaining the way you guys are.
It could go back to like that yin yang thing, right? It ain't always
sometimes it'll come real easy, and other times it's gonna hurt for a little while.
Yeah.
Gosh, I bet.
Yeah. The cool thing about this new record that we're coming out with, like I can definitively say that we all equally like put a big piece of ourselves into it in some way. I think it's the most collaborative one that we're coming out with next.
Love to hear that.
Nice. And you said you're recording in September?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we talked about North by Northeast, but even before that, you guys got a pretty big gig coming up in Ann Arbor. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're doing Burn Fest. We did it last year, and we wanted to do like a show that had different bands from Michigan. And last year we did a multi-genre kind of a vibe where we did like hip hop and an acoustic act. And this year we're doing more of like all rock bands, but some great bands We've got Odd City. They're kind of a newer band. And we have War Horses. What a great band from Detroit. And then the Lucid Furs, which are pretty
Also
known.
from Detroit.
Yeah, also from Detroit. Great band. And we've got a great sponsor to Third Eye Muse is sponsored the show, which is awesome. And it's going to be cool. I mean, last year was, just everything, the vibe was good. People were cool. It was full the whole time. And I expect it's going to be the same this year. And it's, we're kind of an Ann Arbor band, I would say. I mean, we rehearse in Ann Arbor. And so it's kind of a hometown show, I would say. But it's kind of cool. It's the second one we've done, and it's a great lineup, so it should be cool.
Come check it
that's
out.
actually at the Blind Pig, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, that's pretty awesome because Blind Pig is such a historic,
Exactly.
venue. I say that, but I think I've never actually seen a concert there. I saw Carol's Spoken Words one time, the Basketball Diaries guy. Yeah, I don't know how that's happened. How I've let that happen my whole life. But actually, we've been talking about it. June 10th. I think we're going to try to get out there for sure.
Yep, June 10th.
I'd like to see you guys perform live.
So that's a Saturday, correct?
Yep, Saturday, June 10th, Blind Pig, Ann Arbor. Burn Fest, right?
Burn Fest.
Got it.
So what time does that start? Do we know?
Doors are at 7:30, and bands will start probably 8:30, and it'll go till probably, I don't know, into the night.
Okay.
Will it be a Toronto type night?
Yeah.
Well, afterwards, yeah, definitely.
Legally, type night, legally, but it'll go till
Right on.
Yeah, that should definitely be a fun one, without a doubt. Maybe get down there, catch some dinner in Ann Arbor a little early, and catch a good show.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. And the Blind Pig's super cool. It's got like flyers from all the bands that have played there before, and it's just you feel like you're playing, you're being a part of history there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, no one can take that away from you guys. You played Blind Pig. It's one of the most iconic places ever. And it's just really cool, without a doubt. And then coming up in July, you actually have a Grand Rapids, right? The Upheaval Festival. That looks pretty insane with some of the lineup I saw there.
Yeah, it's the biggest metal festival in Michigan. And Kris, being the suave businessman that he is the one who hooks us up with all these like crazy shows. Kris works his ass off so hard, hustling to get us shows and just to continue the ball rolling and things like that. So, just kudos to Kris for all his hard work in getting us these great gigs this summer.
Thanks, Ricardo. I just want to make sure you guys don't get bored.
No, I mean it's another full-time job for you, right? Doing all the marketing and everything. It's like, I mean, nothing compared to the band, but just their little podcast here, right? It's like, oh my God, I'm like, I've never even been on social media before. Now I'm like that old guy with tech. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, I tried posting a video the other day, and all of a sudden I hear myself calling my dog, like overlaid the thing. I'm like, oh shit. So I never knew like that aspect of it was so time consuming,
True.
But no, that show in Grand Rapids. So that's July 14th and 15th. I think you guys are playing on the Friday, on the 14th.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
The night of Lamb of God, I believe, is playing that night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I noticed. I thought Lamb of God was the headliner that night, and I forget who was on Saturday. I checked it out, but I don't remember.
No, I've got a crazy story. So we were playing Rock for Vets last year, and which is a cool benefit for veterans in Michigan. And we met the tour manager for Saliva, and we were hanging out with him. Great guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he was a tour manager for Lamb of God at one time. And years ago, Lamb of God was overseas somewhere. I can't even remember the country. It was like some third world country, like, I don't know, something really off the wall.
I thought it was like they're in Russia. Oh.
Yeah, it could have been Russia. I think you might be right. Anyway, so what happened was, I'll cut it short. There was a somebody in the pit in at one of the Lamb of God shows, and he kept trying to get on stage and come at the singer over and over and over. Well, finally, the singer, he just freaked out and kicked this kid, and the kid went flying off the stage on his back and went unconscious. And so basically what happens is the kid ends up dying.
Oh my.
Yeah. So, and it was a total accident. It was like self-defense kind of a situation. And so the band's leaving the country, and they're going to get on the plane. And the tour manager is telling us the whole story. He was there with them. And all these police cars come up and arrest the whole band. And they go to prison for
Holy
like,
shit.
yeah, they go to prison for like months because of this death. And there's a book written about it. You can actually look up the book. And so eventually, according to their manager, Trump actually had to call in a favor to get them released from prison. And they actually, eventually they get out after they pay some ridiculous amount of money.
Oh, I bet.
Wow.
Yeah, because this person died. I mean, it was a total accident, but it was just a crazy story. And this guy told us the whole thing, but that's my Lamb of God spiel.
The more of the story,
absolutely
kids,
nuts.
stay in school.
Yeah. Stay off the railings.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't try to stage. You will get killed.
Yeah.
Actually, I learned very early on at the Kaju Cafe that you don't F with someone's wah-wah pedal. I drank too much, and I was sitting there, and I touched it, and I got a boot right to the chest.
Don't do it.
Next thing you know, I'm on the ground, like, I'm never doing that ever again.
No, I want to know.
It was actually when we went and saw Red Eye.
I figured.
That'll do it.
It was actually one of my buddies. Never did it again, though. So what else do you guys got? We got the 3 main festivals. What about any other shows coming up?
We've got some other shows we can't announce yet, but
Okay.
mainly what we got going is we've been in writing mode. We took like the first quarter off to write a bunch of tunes, and it's going awesome. And we're going to record with a producer named Josh Schroeder, who's he just did a record with Butcher Babies, and he's done Heartsick and a bunch of other great bands. And so we're looking forward to that. And he's out of Michigan.
Nice.
And so yeah, we're set up to work with him for a month, and it's going to be killer.
So how is you guys, like we had talked earlier, the Ann Arbor music scene, is he known in Ann Arbor?
No, he's Ann Arbor. I think he's based out of Midland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
he's nationally known.
Yeah.
Yeah, national. If you look him up,
Yeah, he's a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a
Right
huge
on.
opportunity for us. He's more of a rock producer than we're used to working with. So I'm really excited about getting into the studio with somebody, who does rock and who knows what rock entails.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people have a different definition of that nowadays.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that we're probably a little more aligned on the definition of what rock truly is. But then, your kids look at you like you're an old person. Like, no, it's just good music.
Yeah. So I what a terrible question to ask. But how old are you guys? I mean, are you guys in your 20s, your 30s, or? 'Cause we're old.
I have no idea.
I'm 14. Kris is my legal guardian. He's 18.
I
Kind
almost
of a messed up situation. It was kind of a Stockholm situation. Now that we're talking about how the band formed, here's the truth. Kris adopted us, and we
right. All right, good. I kind of expected these kind of answers. All right, good. Everybody's young at heart, right?
Exactly.
So the one other thing that we've talked about on a few of our shows is, again, we're the fans going to the shows, you have the songs you love seeing. But we've also talked a couple of times about when you see, one of your favorite bands do a really cool cover, which we noticed on Spotify, you guys do White Rabbit.
Yeah.
And one, I thought it was definitely killer. I liked definitely it was harder coming in with the music at the beginning. Vocals are super good on that. But I thought that was a really cool cover.
That was actually Ricardo's idea to do that for the 50th anniversary of that song.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and Gabby just nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the vocals were spot on for that. I would put them right up there with the original for sure. And I did like the little harder music coming into it as well in the beginning.
Yeah, we like to put our flavor on that one.
What's that?
I said we like to have put our flavor on that one. We couldn't just do a straight up cover. We had to do a Black Note Graffiti style.
Yeah,
No, and you did, and I thought you guys killed it. That was super cool. What about obviously you guys are the band, right? You guys put on the shows, but any shows, you guys are super busy, it sounds like, but any shows that you guys got your eye on, in the next 6-8 months or so? You guys still go to shows? I mean, what?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to actually an upheaval. Guar is playing a show, and so they're on my bucket list of bands to see. Definitely Guar coming up.
Cool. Yeah, I am trying to go to a show this Friday. This weekend, I think in Detroit, it's on Sunday, is the Movement Festival. It's like an electronic music festival.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
On Sunday, there's an after party, and there's this artist. His name is Machine Drum, and he is electronic music artist. And I'm trying to go see him, but I can't figure out which venue he's at. So, but he's going to be there. So I'm not going to get my head cut off on Sunday night.
Nice.
Nice.
Shout out to my friend Shigeto, who is also playing Movement Festival.
Oh, he is? Oh, shoot. Okay. I will be there too.
Yeah, I think we had a couple of our guests are heading out there for at least one of the days. What about you, Kris? Anything on your
well, speaking of reggae, the Whalers are playing at the Magic Bag on Saturday night.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you going?
I was gonna go, but I can't because I'm gonna be out of town. I know.
Especially the Magic Bag. That's a great place to see a show.
Oh
yeah.
That's one of my favorite venues.
Uh-huh.
Love it.
We'll talk.
Yeah, actually, old 97s I saw there a few years back.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'd say, Neil, you got it?
Well, and I think that not that we're going to conclude right now, unless there is something else you guys want to bring up, or we can delve into that. If not, then we can end this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No, I mean, for me, I'm actually really glad that you guys are here with us tonight. I know I've been kind of working the back channels with David Morales a little bit to, funny how it all even happened, right? We dropped the first episode, which was just me and Neil, and then we've had 3 since with some guests or whatever. And so we released the first one, we recorded the second one with my brother-in-law, and I remember we drank way too much because we had to film it, like took way too long. Wake up, I'm all hungover, and I got this email from Decipher Studios. Hey, I love your podcast. I think there's a band that'd be interested in being on it, and I'm like, how the hell did this happen? We've had one episode and whatever. Like, I was super pumped right from the word go when I got that email. So I'm glad we finally got it all worked out and we're able to meet with you guys, talk about everything you got going on, and definitely I think we're going to get out there and check out some of the shows. And then looking forward to hearing about these ones that we aren't allowed to talk about yet.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we'll definitely keep on the lookout for that as well, and we'll also let all of our listeners know about it. But number one for everyone in the Detroit area, we got Burnfest coming up June 10th in Ann Arbor. All of our fans in the Toronto area, it's funny, not one single Canadian's actually downloaded our podcast yet, but
Yeah.
someone in India did. But
all.
for all those listeners in Toronto, they'll be at North by Northeast on June 16th. And then, of course, kind of like the big finale, right? Almost the summer's upheaval in Grand Rapids on the 14th of July. So a lot of good stuff coming up. A lot of good music out there. Check out Black Note Graffiti on Spotify and pretty much probably everywhere else you can find music. And really just thanks to the three of you for being here tonight. I'm really glad that you took the time out of your busy schedule for us.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Well, good luck out there this year.
All right. And may the
Good
rest of your
talking to you
drinking be as profitable.
Absolutely. All right. You guys have a good one.
You
All right.
too. Take
All
care.
right, thanks.